Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the new season of DoubleO on a Low. It's gonna get really hot in this room because there's like 10 people here. So you're gonna see us gradually get more and more sweaty and hot. That's how we like it on the interview, okay? Well, I don't know what I'm saying. We have a new segment on the show, ladies and gentlemen, where we get the co-hosts on, have a little chit chat with them before the musical guests, of course. So let's have them on. Please welcome our co-hosts of today, Alex of DoubleO and Swaraj of Sakharine. Welcome to the show, welcome to the show. Welcome in. Yes. Could you sit on camera, please? Go.
Wait, on the couch?
Yeah, get on the couch
Okay,
first. This is how the new segment goes.
Right.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for co-hosting tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm excited to be back.
Welcome back, Alex.
I've
Swaraj.
been promoted.
Oh, I think this is a promotion actually, being co-host.
Yeah.
Still guest, you know. No offense to the actual guest tonight, of course. Swaraj, how are you feeling being on the show for the first time?
Good. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, do you like Hoshiyomi?
I've heard a couple of the demos and stuff. They're quite good.
Oh, well, I have not, ladies and gentlemen. You know, so this is why they're my co-hosts. Alex, you saw them live, is that correct?
I did see them live, yes.
And how was that?
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. They did really well for their first performance, I'd say.
How would you compare it to DoubleO's first performance?
Good question.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, those are our co-hosts. Please go take your seats aside. Thank you so much for joining me today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the main guest. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hoshiyomi. Welcome. How are we doing? How are we feeling today?
Good, thank you.
So
Good.
We're doing it.
Yeah. How are you feeling, DoubleO?
I'm feeling awesome. Now, please tell me, who are you and what you play?
So my name's Charlie and I play bass.
I'm William and I play guitar.
I'm Lola and I'm on vocals.
I'm Michael, I also play guitar.
I'm Cameron and I play drums.
We are a J-rock inspired band based here in Glasgow. We play kind of rock through hard rock into a little bit of metal.
Yeah.
Still kind of figuring out where the boundary is and trying to not do China cymbal breakdowns.
We dabble.
We dabble. Yeah, don't want to step on the centre stage.
Of course not. We love to start here on the show. We like to start at the beginning. Your origin story, please. How did you guys form? Where, when, what, who, what?
Yeah, so thanks, that was a very pointed look.
It's kind of us, like there's
Yeah.
from the origin.
Like, me and Cameron have been playing together since third year of high school. We used to play in the school's traditional band together. So this is back when I played drums, and we
Yeah, so at one point Michael was the drummer and I was playing Cajon in the school Scottish traditional music band where we played jigs and the Pirates of the Caribbean theme for our high school. But it's changed a bit since then, but
a little.
Michael has since has moved off of percussion. I play drums, he plays guitar, and then we kind of just played music all the time, like over years, and now this is just where we're at now, and we have friends now who want to play music for the first time ever.
Yeah, no friends before that, so it's very nice of these guys to take charity on us.
Yep.
But,
So what was kind of order of everyone joining then?
so it was kind of us first, and then out of everyone here, it would have
Me.
been William first, and then Charlie, then
I was
Noah.
last year.
Yeah.
I was late.
Most recent additions here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because me and Cameron have been trying to do like the Michael and Cameron band for a good few years now, unsuccessfully. We just I don't think we ever found a kind of cohesive group that all wanted to do the same thing, because we kept we'd play with different people and everyone's kind of pulling in different directions. So it was kind of waiting to find people that are intending on doing the same thing. So. Obviously we're
So just
very
people
happy
being
with
in the same level of interest and the same wavelength.
Definitely, yeah.
Of course, that's very important, start a band that you all have the same idea going into it. Michael and Cameron, would you say you're kind of the leaders of the group, or how does that kind of dynamic work?
It's kind of Michael. I'm not.
I think so. So, out of the music we have so far, most of it I compose, and I've kind of taken the lead on lyrics so far as well. We have a major advantage in this band of pretty much everyone is a multi-instrumentalist in some capacity. So we have everyone can kind of compose and write in their own right. and it's led to, so far, the songs that we've played live and a couple of the others that we haven't are mine, but we have one entirely of Williams and one entirely of Charlie's we're working on, and Cameron and Lola are getting into the writing as well. So compositionally, yes, currently mostly me, but we're kind of working towards leveling that out.
And when it comes to like writing and whatnot, in your Instagram bio you say you're a J-rock influenced band. What are the differences in J-rock compared to standard other types of heavy metal and whatnot?
Yeah, so I'd say like J-rock and a lot of Japanese music especially is heavily inspired by like jazz kind of idea. So the kind of progressions you'll get in the chords are a lot more complex than what you might find in your typical sort of like Western, British, American rock or what have you. And there's a lot more like adventurous sound, I guess. They might use a lot of like traditional Japanese instruments or like a lot of synths and other various things you might not find in typical rock sort of production. A lot of people might not be super familiar with some artists unless they watch anime and stuff, but a lot of Japanese video games as well have a huge a very good example of sort of the kind of differences instrumentally.
For someone curious about the J-rock genre, who would you recommend they listen to first? This is a sell, I know. This is
if any of our stuff that you've heard from live, or if there are singles out by the time you hear this, if you like any of it, my main influence is Crush 40 and their guitarist Jun Sonoe. I know this is like, I can see Mr. DoubleO smiling behind the camera, no one could have guessed this. I think Mr. Jun Sonoe's guitar playing is probably the biggest influence in my musical style, and I'd very much recommend that you listen to that Crush 40 to get into it. I'll let everyone else give their picks as well.
He's so happy you asked that question.
I just want to promote Johnny and Jun.
There's a bunch of different Japanese bands that I'm influenced by. We did in the promotion for the gig we played at Block, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, we actually did a little bio promotion thing talking about some of our influences. And some of mine when it comes to writing are, and you'll correct me on the name, but the pronunciation, but there's a female artist called Amir, huge influence on sort of my writing style, and other bands like Canaboon and Man with a Mission as well are also hugely influential to me.
As someone who doesn't know a lot about guitars, or like, I know about music theory, but not guitar terms. A lot of the music that I kind of grew up was like very twinkly, energetic, like dancey guitars that are very kind of jazzy and crunchy at times. But the drums were always very frenetic. And some of those, it's not really bands I listen to, it was mostly like a lot of hodgepodge of singles from games and shows and openings of shows and stuff. But some bands I listen to right now are Tricot, Tricot, I think that's Alison.
Yeah,
weird. Cool. Like virtuosic drums and guitars and stuff. It's a lot of odd time signature stuff as well. Like very like developed like theory wise is what, at least that's what I'm kind of inspired by. That's the kind of Japanese rock that I kind of was inspired by growing up. Yeah, Tricot and just a bunch of like random bands that I don't really think I have like four or three that are like my favorites, but it's just a lot of singles where it's just crazy drums, crazy guitars, but it's still very danceable and fun, and it's usually got like a flair for the dramatic as well. That's how I kind of describe it.
I like listening to like Cassiopeia.
Yes.
As you can tell, we're all quite big fans of Cassiopeia. But yeah, that kind of jazz fusion they do has always like inspired me, and especially their bassist for me as well has been a huge inspiration. So yeah, I just love what they do. And, I try and add some of the funky lines that he puts in, but I'm not that good.
Not yet.
Thank you.
Alison.
I don't listen to a lot of J-rock and things anymore. Like I used to listen to all like kind of like J-rock and K-pop kind of stuff. But I guess most of what I like is the kind of more video game soundtracky, anime soundtracky stuff that I've looked at. I mean, like I love Crush 40 now. Got
very
to
happy to hear
that. So yeah, anything from that is kind of what I try to draw some inspiration from, especially vocally, obviously, with like the stuff I've been doing recently.
your live performance. You played at Block, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And were you invited by Dissenter, friends of the channel, friends of the show?
Yeah, we were. So Peter, who is the kind of frontman of Dissenter, reached out to me and had the idea of us doing a kind of, just playing together, doing a collaborative gig, and he thought Block would be the kind of perfect launch pad since we were debuting everything. We were doing our debut gig and they had some new music to show as well, so he just thought it would be a fun time, and we kind of attract, like, although we play different music, we have certain crossovers in the kind of music of ours that tends further to metal, so it ended up actually working out really, really well.
There's a big like fan-based crossover as well with that, anything from like rock to like J-rock and metal, kind of. You always find fans of the same things, like video games and stuff in that category of person.
And you know, this has been a long time in the coming, you know, your first performance since, of course, third year in high school. So how was that kind of release, you know, for the band to finally get a live performance?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing because we'd like, I think everyone here kind of has gigging experience, like through different channels, but this is the first time that we've played our original material specifically, so it was really nice to just kind of get that out there and to hear people's reactions to it as well, which is a nerve-wracking thing in itself, because when you're playing material for someone else and it's material you already believe in and you're playing it because you like it, or you're covering, then you kind of know what to expect, but when it's yours it's a very vulnerable thing and you have no idea who's going to like it, or if you're just going to play a song you think is fantastic and everyone's just going to so it's scary but very fulfilling.
It was great that the atmosphere of the room was like, it just felt like a group of friends. Everyone was very, I don't know, the atmosphere was just very like,
It was really laid back. And
Yeah,
it just felt like we were comfortable. It was great.
it
Yeah,
helped
everyone
me
really
to relax
enjoyed
a bit.
Yeah.
Putting together a set of your original material, is there any like things you learned when doing that? Did it go as you pictured when you were putting the set together? Or was there...
I think it was
I
pretty...
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a personnel change, if you want to talk about that. But,
Well, yeah, so obviously Lola's our vocalist. Unfortunately, Lola wasn't in the country until the day of the gig.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I thought I was gonna miss it, and then I was coming home a few days earlier, like, guys, I can make it. But I didn't get a chance to like rehearse any of the new stuff or go through any of the new stuff at all. So Charlie stepped in.
I had to take
and-
over vocals.
Yes, took the mic, and it was a lot better than it would have been if I
But
was.
it worked out actually
No.
quite well. Like,
Yeah.
we managed to get all the tracks
Yeah.
on.
They did
Yeah,
really
these
well.
tracks
It
are-
was
it all
all
worked
learning
out,
lyrics
so-
and everything.
So
Yeah.
William and I kind of worked on the backing tracks. Like, we weren't originally intending to use them until we had to. We asked Charlie if he wanted to do bass and vocals at the same time, and he looked at me with a fear I hadn't really seen before. So we used backing tracks, and we played with Cameron had a metronome that he could barely hear. But
That was almost really bad. I could.
It worked out.
It was
it
like,
worked out really well though, yeah. So
I could barely emote in that performance. Like, I could barely express an emotion because I was using like 100% of my brain to like hear the click. So I was literally just like,
I was like
movements
flipping
and everyone
out.
off. That would have been bad.
If I find any videos of like you playing, I'm gonna put it up somewhere.
There is a
Summer
video.
face on.
Yeah.
So we had bass on the backing track. The funny thing is, none of that was actually Charlie either.
Yeah. I don't think any of it was actually real bass either.
No, my bass for Tightrope was real. That was me.
Oh,
That's why it sounds like shit. I can't play bass. But
Alex, you were there live. Could you tell? So
No, but I don't know much about. I'm new. So I'm like, holy shit, this sounds amazing!
Damn, the mix was perfect.
It was so advanced, guys! Oh my god.
What do you mean there wasn't a live bass player?
Yeah.
I didn't notice until like halfway through your set, I'm like, wait.
any questions for them about their live performance, Alex, being there? That's all.
I was just wondering like what the highlight of the night was.
I think each of us would probably have a different moment. I think. Do you want to just like go
Your
through,
favourite song of the night?
or
I'd have to go.
whether it's song or just like a a moment that stood out. Like
I did vocally for me, which is not usually going to be the case. I did enjoy singing as one the most because I get to just shout essentially.
yeah.
Turns out my voice hadn't really healed fully from the last rehearsal. So, there's a little recording of me and I just like scream at one point during the chorus, but it wasn't that bad.
I think for me, I've got two personal highlights. So one of them is more just about like the audience participation during Tightrope. You know, getting everyone to do the classic arm wave and really engage with the song. I get the phones out. I love that. That was always great. The other thing is, and this is going back to what you said about lessons learned, is so Michael and I made the fantastic decision to write some guitar solos for two of the songs, and
So the week of?
the week of the show. Yeah, they were a lot harder than we thought they would be.
Great decision, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, my solo was to our song Nuclear Option, and it was, I wrote it at 40 BPM slower than the actual, because I recorded a backing track and I thought, yeah, this is doable, recorded it, listened to the actual recording and went, yeah, I can't do this. But I'm really pleased to say that live, we both killed it.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
great.
Very, very happy with
You
it.
guys did really.
I mean, I only sang one song. I was going to say my vocals were also a bit messed up. I was, when I was away, it was very dusty and very dry, so I had a very sore throat.
It was dry and blocked, to your defense. It was dry and there was a lot of bodies.
Yeah, and it was very warm, but it was good. I think my favourite part, honestly, was just, as a whole, it was seeing everything that we made beyond stage, because I got to kind of watch it in the audience. So I was getting really into it, I mean, these guys are great. And it's I'm in that band. That's so cool. And it was just really awesome to see everyone perform and do really good. And they're I don't think there was one slip up through the whole night with you guys. Everything was so on point.
Yeah, there was no slip-ups at all.
No, it was perfect.
It was,
Flawless gig.
Yeah.
it was great.
I think for me, there are two moments that stand out. One is when Shinkansen started, which was our first track, and I started playing the riff and suddenly realised I couldn't see the fretboard. Because I was at the exact right height and angle for the smoke machine to just shoot me in the face. And we've got, I do have a photo of this, which is on screen now.
Oh, making you work overtime now, man.
That's so much smoke, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. That was, I like that. But I think the biggest one for me was just hearing the crowd reactions, especially to the latter two songs. Because a lot of the writing from our band so far has been very personal to me and come from very kind of vulnerable things. So especially at the end of our ballads, Tightrope, just hearing how much people genuinely enjoyed that and just seeing just seeing a room full of people appreciate our hard work was really nice. Really fulfilling.
So I get this thing with every gig I do in my whole life. Where no matter how good I did or the level of people that watched it or whatever we played, I watch whatever recording there is at least 15 times over the next day because that's just me. It gets me really excited. It's very cool. But there's this one part of the show that I keep watching over and over and over, and it's this part during Michael's little solo after the first chorus of As One, where we all kind of lock in, and it's all it literally sounds like a studio recording, and it's amazing, and that's those 4 seconds are probably the best thing I've done musically ever. I really like that moment. I just keep replaying it over and over. I'm oh my god, I didn't even hear that in the moment.
See, that's because the hard part of the solo is the first bit, so I nailed the ending even though again, there's no evidence that I flopped the first bit.
No.
No evidence.
Yeah.
We were talking beforehand, and you were mentioning your recording process. There's some controversial things about that within the band.
Right, okay, so we haven't actually discussed this yet.
Controversial is a strong word.
It's potentially controversial.
I think everyone will agree.
I think everyone will agree.
6 months, yeah.
But yeah, we had kind of planned which song to record first, and me and Cameron were talking earlier when we were having our pre-interview dinner, and we were
It was a date.
It was a date. Yeah. So me and Cameron were talking earlier, and we were kind of thinking the song that we were gonna do first. We're wondering whether we should, and whether there might be another song that's better, because I think our style has kind of evolved over time, and I think you can kind of tell which songs are newer and which ones we're more passionate about.
They improve very exponentially. Like you can kind of tell which was the first ones we wrote and which one's the most recent.
Yeah.
And I kind of think like, should we make the most recent one you wrote the first one we record? So kind of punches it a bit stronger at the gate, and then maybe after recording that one, the initial one will be better with that experience of having recorded. And
Man, this is like a live discussion, like within the band.
Yeah. This is a band meeting now.
This has never happened before.
But yeah, so I wrote a new song literally just like last week. While I was on a work placement, so I wrote and recorded it in the doctor's residence in San Hospital. But it's a song that I feel very good about, and I think it's probably the best representation of my current abilities as a composer. So thank you. So that's what I'm kind of thinking of recording first, actually, instead of shooting.
It's the kind of thing where I brought it up to Mike. I don't know if you guys would agree. I just assume because I don't think anyone feels that strongly about it. The first ones were really good, but I was going to bring up to Mike, and then I was like, will he agree with this? Will he be like, no, that's crazy. No, he was just like, yeah, actually, yeah. So,
Yeah.
we can discuss that off camera.
No. We need to stop it right now.
Cut the cameras.
Yeah, you can obviously like keep this, but we'll just finish the discussion.
Alright, band meeting over.
Welcome back to the show.
To kind of bring it back to recording process, which I think is what you were hoping for us to discuss.
Yeah, like do you do a demo first, maybe someone's house, and then go into the studio? Or
So-
your plans
We kind of mix it up.
So far the system has pretty much been like whoever's composing the song, whether that's so far it's been me, Charlie, and William. We've all kind of done our own demos at like in our own DAWs and everything as digital audio workstation for the audience. So in our like music software, we've all kind of done our own demos and then just presented them to the group. And then after that, we'll kind of get together and we'll start kind of going over the parts, because even though we are all multi-instrumentalists to a degree and can write for other instruments, we tend to defer to whoever else is, like whoever's actually doing that. And, like,
Who's
I
actually
will-
gonna play it? Yeah.
yeah, so like I'll come in and the last one I did, I just kind of came to the band and was just like, hey, I've written an entire song. Like sometimes before I've done like short sections and they're like, yeah, no, there's a riff and there's like a couple of progressions, like, is this cool? With this one, it's just like, I kind of know what I'm doing. I've written and composed an entire thing, here you go. But then after that, we'll get together in the studio and we can split it between studio sessions and like home sessions. So we work on the kind of arrangement and figuring out what everyone wants to do with their individual instruments in like practice studios. And then we'll go to either William's house or my house and we'll kind of like go over the lyrics together and work on the writing in that respect and kind of do new vocal demos and everything. As far as the final recording process goes, I think the current plan is we're going to do drums and vocals in studio, actually book studio time for that, and bass and guitar just at home, because we kind of have like we have like decent to very, very expensive setups already, so there's no point in us like paying for studio time to use amps we don't want when we can just record the guys.
Yeah.
And can I talk about lyric writing between Michael, you, and William? I know you talked about like your lyrics are quite vulnerable. How do you go about? And do you separate yourself from the bands when you're singing or from writing? Or how does that kind of translate over?
That's a difficult question, actually. Do I think there's any? I don't think there's any like separation really. I think we kind of have two different styles of song, where we've got some that are more kind of storytelling based, and especially like Nuclear Option is kind of an amalgam of experiences from both William and I. And it's more an overall kind of shared feeling. But certainly with my most recent pieces, they've been very much about like a certain story or like a feeling or an experience that I've had, and then I've tried to turn poetic, basically. So they are like, I wouldn't say there's actually too much of a separation. Especially in the demo form, where I've just like done everything myself and then said, here you go, is this good? And it'll be interesting to see how the feeling changes as they kind of become more of a collaboration and everyone else kind of writes their own parts, and especially hearing them sung by Lola. So
And I think from my perspective, like, you know, when I do lyric writing, I'm very much, you know, I'm very inspired by kind of your power metal like sort of style, like your Iron Maidens, and a big influence on me as a songwriter at least is Regina Spektor, and she doesn't write personal songs. She writes songs about, you know, characters and stories, and that's very much the style of songwriting I like to do. I don't really do the vulnerable experience songwriting thing that much. Although with the most recent song I wrote and messaged about in the chat, that is a personal song. So yeah, they don't know about it yet. I haven't even recorded the demo yet. So we'll see if they love. We'll see if they love it or hate it.
Live reaction right there.
Just give me a guitar and I'll just perform it. But no, for me it's like.
Right now he'll do it.
Oh no, please no. But for me, like, I'm very much more on like the storytelling side of things. Although most of the time, because the other people in the band read more than I do, I will present my lyrics, and then most of the writing session where we do it at someone's flat or house and go to the lyrics will be like, yeah, we need to change this to rhyme better, we need to change this to be more grammatically correct.
Grammatically correct. Is this English? Like, yeah, I think
I may be guilty of that.
so it's fine.
But hey, you know, it's all worthwhile because, you know, when we actually hear the words sung live on stage, it's like, man, this is
It's all worth
great.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all worth it.
I think we especially found that with Nuclear Option, where once we'd kind of worked on the lyrics together, the delivery live worked really
Yeah.
Mhm.
Getting a better idea about the story as well with the
Yeah.
one. That was good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Lola, obviously you're singing like other people's lyrics, but do you still put your own spin on it, and kind of how do you do that?
I think it's quite nice because, like, I mean, we speak about things just because we're like friends, and we speak about experiences, and like I know what things are about and where they come from, and like how important they are to people writing them. So it's quite nice to be able to like sing that, and everyone goes through, even if things aren't the same, everyone goes through the same feelings and emotions, and has been through similar events in like one way or another. So there's definitely ways that I can like tie in how I feel about a song, or how I feel in the lyrics, and kind of put my own emotion to it, even if it wasn't me that wrote it or things.
I think like lyrically, a lot of it is just to do with like who you're inspired by and like the kind of style your lyrics are. Because I noticed when I was writing my song, the kind of lyrical style is very different to like the likes of Williams or Michael's. Like,
I like how you can tell who wrote it though.
Yeah.
Well, we just go, does this sound like June Snowy, Michael? Does this sound like Sleep Token, Charlie?
Yeah.
Don't sell me out like that.
Yeah, I think like definitely a big vocal inspiration for me is Johnny Joelli, obviously of Crush Force.
Wait, who's that?
So I may have played with no, we're not into that. But yeah, Johnny Joelli is a massive inspiration to me. He's probably the biggest like lyrical influence as well. I'm trying to dredge up who else actually influences my lyrics. Probably Spencer Sotelo of Periphery.
Yeah.
I'd say my lyrical style is like they're probably the two heaviest influences.
DoubleO, of course. No.
The DoubleO EP.
Yeah.
Oh no! Thank you, Michael. You're welcome. Of course.
No, of course. Thank you. Couldn't have done without you.
In this show, I always dress quite seriously, but for this new season, I kind of want to go in a different direction with my presentation. So I picked this up on the Edinburgh tram crawl just before.
Oh, and you're so crazy. I love you.
Thank you, bro.
Oh my god, you're so crazy.
Can't take it anywhere.
And actually, I love how coordinated it is
I
with
was
the rest of the
gonna
effects.
say.
Yeah, it's so
actually
good.
fantastic.
That's so
It's almost like you planned it.
Let's get on to some silly questions now that I'm in my silly hat. If your band was a fragrance, what would it be?
Jesus.
Yes.
You were there in block, Alex. You know exactly what I'm about.
Death, sweat, musk.
He's always gonna sing with fragrances.
Yeah.
I don't know if that can.
I'd see to me because I just think like I don't know like just like food like pizza, you know, because like just anytime we have like a session.
Basically, any writing session will always order food.
Yeah.
You associate it with the food we eat while writing music. You're saying
Yeah.
True.
I was thinking like the ocean. That's
the
the
ocean.
way.
Should we go down like the
Yeah,
mecca
that's-
route and make it like a Japanese kind of inspired dish?
Oh yeah,
Something
we
that.
yeah, like
Kind of
ramen.
smell. A ramen because it's like
Yeah.
a kind of amalgamation of all our styles.
Yeah.
Ever- ever
that's
since, like-
smart, yeah.
Ever since I got back from Japan, I have like avoided Japanese food like the plague. I had so much of it. I'm kind
Yeah.
of stumped now.
Also, like in Scotland, it's not as good.
No,
It's,
No matter
it's
where you
not
go.
as good and it's so expensive here.
Yeah.
Like if you want anything of reasonable quality, you're paying like £15 for
Yeah.
a made and you're just like, no.
A bit more about your releases. What are you kind of planning to release soon?
So
And
we
where?
have a couple of singles in the works. I think the ones that we're currently considering releasing, as we kind of touched on earlier in the episode, are Shinkansen, which is the first song we played at the gig. And we have the brand new one that I wrote literally last week called Seaside Signals, which I'm really, really happy with, and I think it would also be a good candidate for a single release. I think some of our other songs are like a bit more difficult to do in a single environment because we kind of have like a slower ballad, which is called Tightrope. We have a big, stupid 6-minute one called As One. So we probably want to keep it to the kind of, release the shorter, catchier songs
Yeah.
to kind of build interest and then have our album tracks later down the line.
By
But
the
that
end of the
is
year, yeah.
Yeah.
by the end of the year, sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not going to say which year, but
Yeah.
by the end of a year we'll have our.
Yeah.
But I've completely lost my train of thought. I have no idea what I
Yeah.
was going to say.
But yeah, so plan is to do, we'll do a couple, maybe 1 or 2 single releases, and then we'll do the full album after that.
Yeah.
That's so fun. But
Yeah.
I really like the way like the album's gonna kind of be an amalgamation of all
Yeah.
of our kind of input, and it's got that kind of variance that
Yeah.
I really
yeah.
enjoy about our group.
I think it's got a good amount of, it's got enough different tracks that we can have a good kind of flow of energy through the album, which is something I've been very intent on from the start. I think the mark of a good album versus like a compilation of songs is how it flows from one track to another in terms of where the energy is.
Yeah.
Because like if you front load all your highest energy tracks, then the audience kind of feels like there's a drop off towards the end, or if you have too many slow tracks in a row, there's kind of a lull. So I think just the order in which you play songs is an art all of itself.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because originally when we were planning out the album, before we started like properly, Michael had a bunch of like instrumentals and stuff that we then later added lyrics to, but originally we were actually going to go for a concept album. And then as we all started writing more lyrics, and Michael especially, and like Michael said, some of them were more, I guess, personal in nature, that kind of started to shift away, and now we've kind of, especially with like adding Charlie as well, and we've got all more songwriters involved and all these different kinds of tracks, it's kind of evolved into being just this more broader mix of songs. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think the only worry I do have is if we keep writing at the pace we've been writing, we'll end up with a 32-track album. We need to be careful.
Slow down a bit.
We'll definitely need to like very closely kind of analyze what we actually want to put on the album.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
That's one thing that I don't like when bands do is when they'll release like a longer album and I'll feel like this would have been an amazing EP, where I'll be like, okay, this album is fantastic if I skip like tracks 1, 2, and 7.
Yeah, I'd rather
I want to
like,
avoid that.
Yeah, I'd rather like put out something just really solid that we're happy with, rather than just trying to put every song we've written on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to promote anything? Anything coming out? at all, or?
Do we have any concrete dates? No.
No.
Let's come up with one.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so we are going to have about probably 2 singles out by the end of the year, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have 2 or 3 singles out by the end of the year. When, if we have release dates, they'll be on screen.
Yeah.
And we will be attempting to get a show or 2 done in that time period as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we need to get a show with the 5 of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're all doing the right things.
Yeah.
And I think each of us has like kind of other gigging commitments and releases that we could promote as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just keep it to Hoshiyomi for this.
And yeah, please go follow them on Instagram and everything else, YouTube, all that stuff. You got that stuff, yeah?
We are.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Links in the description, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you very much. This is, I don't know if this will release first, but this is the first episode recording of season 2, so Hoshiyomi, thank you so much for recording. Thank you to Sparge and Alex for joining us. And Double Audience, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to DoubleO on the Low. We're calling it season 2. It's just kind of, you know, an upgraded version of season 1. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll see you in 2 weeks with the next musical guest. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.
You did the thing!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm gonna do that again. That's fine. That was good.
Can we just come back to that live DoubleO reaction right there as well?
I go like right back.
Yeah.